Let's talk about light then, specifically. How do you use light to create stories, create narratives? I mean, we're just looking at some of this amazing project imagery. Quite a lot of it kind of retail spaces. Talk about, or say a few words about kind of light as a means of creating a narrative.
Yeah. To me, light is the emotional layer. No, it's what is animating the space. You cannot conceive a space without a light, because if you eliminate the view, no, which is the one of the most important sense, no, you eliminate the perception of that space. And in our project, we try to use the light in like in this case, you know, like as something that is programmable, as something that is not just copying the mere function of illuminating the items, but it becomes it becomes like an artistic layer that is able to communicate something else.
At what point in the development of an interior architectural concept are you thinking along those lines in terms of light? You talk about it as a layer, but does this come afterwards, or is this integral from the start of the concept?
For sure, it's integral from the start. I mean, from the very beginning, we conceive the project together with the light. Now we have here the example of the Spanish Pavilion, in which the photobioreactors are they cannot exist. They cannot exist without light that is integrated in the space in the device itself. No. But this is just an example. If you consider, I don't know, the skin of a building, and this skin is a complex surface. Of course, you have to understand how to build it, how you can approximate the surface using certain geometries, but how you can inform this surface through the environmental elements, wind, light, ventilation, views. All these elements are shaping the skin of the building, and they are informing from the very beginning the space. So I don't believe in a design that is detached from the conception of the light.
What would you say to people who might argue that, look, Carmelo, you're using a lot of light, artificial light, in your projects. Is it too much? What about the amount of energy that's consumed in this allowing this concept to exist and these spaces to function? Is it over reliant on the use of artificial light?
I'm photophobic, so the idea of a high level of lights is it's always scaring me. No, so in all my projects, you see that you will never have. We barely reach the minimum level from the regulation, and we're always struggling with the clients to use the minimum light possible. That's why I hate shopping malls or airport, all those spaces that are considered by Marc Auger like non-places, no? Places without identity, without character, just because I prefer to keep a very low level of light and then adding some accent or generating dramatic situation into the space, or in general variation. So rather than having an homogeneous light, I prefer to have a very low level of light. Then, of course, in a future, I think we will have lighting that is always more efficient, and hopefully we will have our energy coming from renewable energies. But at the moment, this is what we are doing, especially when we work with brands.